Little Jovim to start us out. Good evening, everybody. Nice to have you here. Won't you sing with me? Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 yeah. Yeah, everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the lights in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. Yeah, in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, 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 yeah.
All right. Well, welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Northern Colorado. My name is Christine Roth. My pronouns are she, her, and we're so glad you've decided to join us this evening. We welcome all lifestyles and beliefs. No matter where you are welcome here. I want to acknowledge that this service is being held on the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Ute, and Cheyenne peoples. We recognize that this land is rightfully theirs, and we offer our respect and gratitude for their continuing kinship with this space. Our philosophy, Science of Mind, honors the wisdom and teachings found in all faiths, recognizing that each path leads to the same universal truth of oneness, love, and interconnectedness. Lonnie Hickman will be your prayer partner today and will be available after service for one-on-one prayer, as will I. So let's take a moment now to say our mission and vision together. Our mission. We are an inclusive community inspiring personal growth, spiritual practice, and a positive way of life. And our vision, to support humanity's spiritual growth, creating a world that works for all. So let's invite our kids up on stage.
Everything there is, so I am part of God. I know there's lots of good for me and everybody else. I'm thankful and grateful for everything we have. So let go of despair, and so it is. Here we go. God is everything there is, so I am part of God. I know there's lots of good for me and everybody else. I'm thankful and grateful for everything we have. So I let go of this prayer, and so it is.
Right. Okay, so let's get into our announcements. First, we've got our Lagoon concert. So mark your calendars for a summer night of music and fun. Join us for the Lagoon concert on July 16th at Colorado State University. We'll meet at the bandstand at 5:30 p.m. So that way we can find a spot together. Make sure that you bring a picnic, a lawn chair, or a blanket, and we'll enjoy the sounds of Top Shelf 5280. Recharge. Join us for a midweek recharge on Wednesday, July 24th at 6:30 p.m. This month's gathering will be lovingly facilitated by Lonnie Hickman, who was our practitioner. Come experience a peaceful evening of meditation, ritual, and spiritual connection. It's the perfect midweek pause to renew your heart and mind. Next up, we have Youth and Family Swim Day. So join us for a refreshing afternoon at Pelican Lakes in Windsor on August 2nd. Bring your swimsuit, sunscreen, and something to lounge on. We'll enjoy the sand, sun, and water together. It's a perfect summer outing for all ages, so come splash, relax, and connect and get cool in this hot weather. Am I right? All right, so this evening we have our guest speaker. We have an outreach partner from Aliana's Norco, which is a powerful local organization that advocates for and supports immigrant and Latinx communities here in Northern Colorado. So please join me in welcoming their executive director, Patricia Alvarez-Harrell.
Hello, and thank you. Do you mind if I put my little, because I can tend to go long. First of all, thank you so much for the invitation. When we received the invite, the request to come, it was beautiful. It's really hard these days, getting a lot of challenging news. So when you get an invitation to come to church on Sunday and to speak about the work that we do, it's a blessing. We appreciate it. So Alianza Norco is a local nonprofit organization founded here in Fort Collins. It started by a group of immigrant women volunteers that wanted to figure out a way to support our immigrant community with obtaining driver's licenses. This was back in 2017, 2018. The problem was that there was only 2 locations in Colorado, so it was 3 hours away and 6 hours away. They joined coalitions, they got involved, they did a lot of their magic work, which immigrant women do, and passed legislation along with teams of partners throughout the state. So now every single DMV has the ability for our immigrant community to obtain driver's licenses. Fast forward to 2019, 2020, we have a law firm for immigration services where we provide pro bono legal services to our immigrant community. Fast forward to 2023, we started providing health navigation services. So now we look at the approach of legal immigration as one of the social determinants of health. And we understand that if you don't have stable status, if you don't have a driver's license, if you don't have the money to pay for an attorney, it comes with a lot of stress, it comes with a lot of fear. So through the work that Alianza Norco does is that we cut out that massive bill of the attorney fees. So we have a whole legal team that's dedicated to support individuals that are seeking asylum, that are qualified for humanitarian placement, or people that want to get their residency, their citizenship, DACA extensions. We do everything. And right now, as you can imagine, it's a very challenging time. There's a lot of pivoting happening when it comes to helping people keep their legal status or obtain a legal status. So it's been really hard. And one of the things that we're dealing with right now is with the new bill that was just signed. There used to be no fees for asylum. As it is, it's hard enough to go through the process. On average, it's $10,000 to hire an attorney, go through the asylum process. We cut out the attorney part by providing that pro bono. But now with the new bill, they started adding a lot of fees to status applications that didn't exist. So suddenly now to simply submit your forms for asylum, it's well over $1,000. And that puts us in a bind because although we can cover through grants, support, donations, we can cover the salaries of our legal team, but now we have to find ways to support the legal fees that were non-existent a week ago. So that's one of the new challenges, along with trying to support our community as they literally go into hiding. And it's not just our Latinx community. We have our communities that are from the Afghan, when they came in here as refugees, and their status has just been terminated. Our Cuban community, our Nicaraguense, our Ukrainian ones, thankfully they still have status, but we're waiting to see what happens. So it's across the board, our immigrant communities being hit hard. So when we have the opportunity to just share this information with our community members throughout Northern Colorado, we feel it's very important so you all know when someone's giving false information that you can kindly correct it. And like in this case, people that are now considered undocumented were documented just a month ago. So there's a systematic thing that's happening. And those that we're trying to help with the crisis of status changes, now there's the fees. So that's a little nutshell of what we do. There's so much more, but I just thought that was very important to give you guys that little information of that added piece that we're dealing with at Alianza Norco. So thank you again for allowing me to speak. Truly appreciate you.
All right. So to register for any of these amazing opportunities or to learn more, be sure to sign up for our weekly e-newsletter. It's the best way to stay up to date and connected with the latest happenings. You can subscribe at cslnoco.org, or you can scan the QR code to get more. So I invite you now to just take a moment to get centered here as we get settled into service, and take a deep breath and close your eyes if you're comfortable. And on the next inhale, say silently to yourself, centered in love, I choose peace. And as you breathe out, repeat the words again, centered in love, I choose peace. Continue to inhale and exhale deeply, repeating these words, centered in love, I choose peace, with each in breath and with each out breath. Please join me in an opening prayer. In this moment, in this time, in this space, I awaken my mind and heart to the presence of God, to that one life, that one light, and that one mind that is the infinite source of all good. It is the center of love and peace. It is that whole and perfect power and presence that exists in absolutely everything. And each one of us is one with this presence, with this power. with this thing that I call God, for it lives in the center of our being. It moves in and around and as each and every one of us. For we are one with it and can never be separated from it. And so what I know for this moment is that each one of us is open to receive all that comes through that divine love and light. Through this service this evening, we allow ourselves to be swept away from the beautiful music that we're offered. We allow ourselves to receive that inspiring message that flows through this service. And we allow ourselves to feel an interconnectedness with that divine presence and power, with not just it, but with each other, for we're all connected through it. And for this, I give great thanks. For knowing that presence and power of Spirit is here now, for knowing that each and every one of us is one with that divine presence, for we are the reflection and that face of God. So I let go and know that it is all being done right here, right now, just as I have spoken. So I release these words and simply say, and so it is.
Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on love. Yeah, woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit, walking and talking with my mind stayed on love. Yeah, walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Play it for 'em, Lance. With my mind stayed on Spirit, singing, praising with my mind stayed on love. Yeah, singing and praising with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
All right. Okay, so tonight we're delighted to welcome Reverend Joshua Reeves back to CSL NoCo. Josh serves as the lead minister at Mile High Church in Lakewood, Colorado. He is also the regional support coordinator for Colorado, supporting centers for spiritual living throughout the region. He is an author of several books, a passionate spiritual leader, and most proudly, the dad of 18-year-old Gavin and 4-year-old Nancy June. So please join me in welcoming Reverend Josh Reeves.
Thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here at this incredible spiritual community. You're growing. You're doing well. It's so great to have everybody here. I want to begin today by telling a little story about my favorite Sufi master, Mullah Nasruddin. A lot of people, when you hear them talk about Sufis, which is the mystical sect of Islam, they like to quote Rumi or Hafiz, these great deep poets. I love Nasruddin because he teaches us through foolishness. He's kind of a spiritual idiot. And for some reason, I personally really resonate with that. And Nasruddin was running low on funds. He was having to cut his budget here or there. And so he decided that he was going to begin to feed his donkey a little less barley. And the donkey fared well enough. And so the next week he fed the donkey a little less. And the next week after that, a little less. Until one day Nasruddin walked into the barn and the donkey was dead. And he exclaimed, just when he got used to not eating. And they're bad jokes. They're bad jokes. Nasruddin jokes are bad jokes. But there's always spiritual significance. And to me, there's some spiritual significance in this story when we see that Nasruddin represents our egoic self and his donkey represents our spirit. How many of us here, when things are getting stressful or tight or challenging, feed our spirit a little less and a little less? We take a little less time for self-care, a little less time for our meditation, a little less time for our spiritual community, and all of a sudden we look inside and our spirit has died. Luckily, our spirits cannot die. We can bring them back to life, but we have to really focus on what it means to nurture our souls and to realize that they're fundamentally important to living a meaningful life. Allred Squire, a philosopher, said that we human beings, we don't have souls, we are souls. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, either God is or God isn't. Carl Jung said, the central question for each and every one of us is, am I related to something infinite or not? And too many of us, when things are at their most difficult, we start living in our version of the universe, our story of events, our tunnel vision, instead of recognizing, even if it's not God's, that there's one greater than the one that we're holding. And there's no way where this happens more in our lives than our confusion about this thing called time, about what it means to live in TikTok time versus living in what I'll be calling today as well, sacred time. Dr. Linda McNamara, she's an incredible minister in our movement who passed away recently. She was my mentor in ministry. She taught me most everything I know. And she wrote a beautiful book called Alive with Spirit that I brought some extra copies here today because she was such a great minister. She'd want you to have one. So you can come see me for one after service if you want. She said, some people say we should live life as if it is our last day on earth. Maybe we should live life as if it is our first day on earth. Conscious, awake, aware of the beauty and bounty around us, being childlike in our wonder. One of the things that happens when things get tight, when things get challenging, is we lose ourselves in what we might call TikTok time. TikTok time is made-up time. We made it up. We made it up when we were setting up the railroad system in our country back in the 19th century. What time is it? Oh, let's meet at this time. Synchronize. TikTok time is the time of to-do lists. It's the time of schedules. It's the time of work. And it's the time of soul crushing. Anyone here have a to-do list that's longer than they are? Right? And all the time I hear people say, oh, if I just had more time, I would get so much more done. No, you wouldn't. You would just have a longer list of things to do. What many of us are longing for isn't more time, it's more space. It's more breath. It's the ability to just be. And this is where sacred time comes in. The time of natural rhythms. The time of seasons. The time of the soul where we can just be and go, you want to do that with me? I'm back to my old self again, to quote Super Mario Bros. 3, which I'm sure you all played in the early 1990s. I'm in the backyard with my daughter. There's so many different stories I could use, but I just recall one time she was 2 years old. Her name is Nancy, like my friend here in the second row. And you're watching this little girl walk around, and she's discovering grass for the first time. She's finding out what a leaf is. And she has this look of wonder and beauty in her eyes. And I know 10 years from now, I would literally give my left arm to re-experience what I'm getting to watch right now in that moment. But what am I doing? I'm looking at my phone. This is happening around me, and I'm looking at my phone, and because I'm wondering if someone's mad at me, or if I'm getting this work project done, or I've got to pay attention to getting things done because it's like being on military time. It's just nonstop, go, go, go. I can't put the to-do list down, and so I can't be fully present enough. If that's not a sign of defective experience, I don't know what is. That ability to try and live fully in the moment, appreciating the richness of what is. Am I the only one to see that a lot of us are losing that? That as wonderful as artificial intelligence is, it's not the same as authentic intelligence. That as wonderful as all the information that we can grab on our phones, they're really cool, it doesn't take away from authentic, sincere experience. That as much as there are difficulties going on in our society, like was just shared so beautifully with us, there's so much progress taking place too, and yet for so many of us, we're so caught up in the grind of things that we don't know how to slow down. We don't know how to get quiet. And if we could only do that, we can give ourselves back to ourselves again. We can be in this thing that I'm calling today sacred time, or we can become what Dr. Linda called being alive with spirit. And that's my wish for each and every one of you with what I'm sharing tonight. I want you to feel alive with your spirit. I want you to feel like you belong to yourself, nobody else. And I want you to feel that that God of your own understanding, whatever that may be, knows you intimately and is a deep and profound part of your everyday life. So how do we get back to ourselves again? How do we cultivate this sense of sacred time? And that's one of the things our teaching teaches the best. It's all about spiritual practice. It's all about those things that we do that cultivate that sense of richness and sacred time. And I know you weren't expecting this. This usually doesn't happen in the middle of a message, but I have a pop quiz for you. Are you ready? I really do. It's one of those fun get-to-know-yourself quiz that's totally unscientific, but I'm going to invite you to do it with me. I need a couple volunteers. So I'm going to pass out. You know how this all goes. Sorry for stepping away from the camera. If you could just help get those around. I'm going to read these. You don't have to write anything down here, and I'm going to read them all aloud for those that might be watching online. But the quiz is called, What Spiritual Technique is Best for You? Because we all kind of do our own spiritual practice here. And so I've devised an unscientific quiz to help you possibly discover what the best spiritual technique is for you. And so I'm going to go through each of these questions, and you're just going to mark which one is most true, because we can mark any of them, most true for you in your life. And while they're getting passed out, what I'll say about spiritual practice is that the best spiritual practice has everything to do with this thing called the present moment. It's not the past or the future, but it's being right here and right now that awakens that sense of sacred time, that helps us experience our connection with God, and that can help us reclaim our authentic being. It always happens in the present moment. So let's go through this quiz right here. Question number 1, you can write it down, or we'll show hands as well. What is more difficult for you? 1, being present. Thank you for your help, by the way. 2, forgetting past experiences. Or 3, feeling confident about the future. So what is more difficult for you? How many is it being present? We'll test on this one. 2, forgetting past experiences. I can't believe she did that to me. 3, feeling confident about the future. All right, good. We won't do this for everyone, but you get the point of the exercise. So keep marking if you're a 1, 2, or 3. 2, is your stress more related to 1, the task that you are currently engaged in? 2, regret about a previous event? Or 3, anxiety about an upcoming event? You know what your answer is? Okay. Question 3, are you more apt to seek counsel, 1, on how to be, 2, on how to cope, or 3, on what to do? Okay. Question 4, what drives your concerns in relationship? 1, everyday interaction, 2, past behavior, 3, direction of relationship. Where is this thing going? Okay, second side of the page. Question 5, are you more apt to 1, get distracted, 2, feel guilty, or 3, worry? Okay, I'm not moving too fast. We're doing okay? Okay, great. Question 6, are you more likely to be in judgment about yourself for 1, how you are acting, 2, what you've done, or 3, what you've yet to do? And then lastly, question 7. What do you respect more in others? They live in the present. 2, they have no regrets. I have at least 10 today. Or 3, they have a clear direction. Okay? So count all these up, and all I want you to do is to check which one you circled most. Did you, is it 1 the most, 2 the most, or 3 the most? You got a sense of what it is? Us ministers don't do math very well. There is a possibility of a tie, so just pick which one feels best for you. And I am going to tell you the right spiritual practice for you based upon how you answered this quiz. So how many people circled number 1 the most? Okay, not very many of us. Okay. What I would argue, if you circled number 1, is that your biggest stress is anxiety, that your biggest challenge is being in the here and the now. And so what you want is that spiritual practice that best serves you in being in the present moment. What might that spiritual practice be? Meditation. Meditation is that technique that allows us to be here and now. My favorite definition of meditation is just loving the moment. That's all meditation is. I like to get a black cup of coffee and sit down and just taste that coffee. I don't like to put all that sweet, sugary stuff in there, but it's bitter and it smells good, but it's hot and it awakens all the senses, and I just sit and breathe, and it helps me be in the present moment, whether I feel like wonderful or like a total piece of you-know-what. It doesn't matter. It just allows me to be fully present. Meditation is the technique that allows us to be here and now. And if you're focusing on any object with equanimity and composure, you're meditating. It can be your breath, a candle's flame, music, or that black cup of coffee that I'm talking about. Now, when we look at all of the great religious history of the universe, who would we say gave us the gift of meditation? The Buddha. Wonderful. Thank you for that. The Buddha tries everything in the world spiritually, finally sits under the Bodhi tree and says, I am not getting up until I figure this stuff out. And he invents in that moment meditation, which he just defined as being awake. After the Buddha experienced enlightenment through the discovery of meditation, he went into a small town, and people noticed there was something special about him. And they said, are you a spirit person? No. Are you an angel? No. Are you a magician? No. And the Buddha said, I am awake. meditation helps us to be awake. So we heard from our one, thank you, sir. Where are my twos? Who picked two the most? All right, so a few more twos. Now, if spiritual practice is all about being in the now, and meditation is the technique that allows us to be here and now, if we're a two, I am looking for the spiritual technique, this sounds a little weird, that helps us come present from our past. Because I'm going to argue, if you circled two most, the thing that creates the most stress for you is judgment, regret. It is struggling and longing for a better past that wasn't. And we're looking for the spiritual technique that's going to return you to the here and now so that you can move your life forward and live in freedom again. And it's so weird, because our bodies are creatures of the present moment, but our minds are time machines, right? And sometimes I feel like past experiences, it's like, and I'm sorry for the strong language, it's like these past experiences are holding parts of my spirit hostage. It's like they're stuck, and I'm not myself until I can somehow return those to me again. And so what might be the spiritual technique that helps us come present from our past? I'm going, in my unscientific quiz, with forgiveness. Forgiveness is that spiritual technique that helps us come present from our past. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting. In fact, all forgiveness for me begins by getting all of my anger out. You can be mad as hell at someone and still forgive them, because that forgiveness isn't about them. It's about you choosing to move on with your life. It's that recognition that I had a love and a joy to give then that I did not get to give the way that I wanted to because someone was a you-know-what. And now I'm going to take that love and that light, and I'm going to refresh it in my here and now, and I'm going to live from it anew again, and I'm going to allow it to co-create again. Because when we're stuck in the past, we are just as stuck in our present, and we can't move forward to being ourselves again. Who in the great lexicon of religious history would we say gave us the gift of forgiveness? Jesus. Jesus, what's so profound about the teachings of Jesus, and I know sometimes some of us grew up and perhaps in organizations that taught us a judgmental or a mean Jesus, which is anything but what Jesus was. Jesus introduces, for the first time in human history, the conception of a God that is unconditionally loving. Before that, the gods didn't like human beings at all. And sometimes we think it's patriarchal, but no. Jesus says God loves you like a parent loves their child. This was a radical concept for the time. And this concept of forgiveness is this concept of practicing God's love for one another. So when we choose to practice God's love for one another versus my thing that wants to forgive you and tell you to shove it at the same time, we can begin to practice and move on with our lives. Lastly, where are my threes? I knew we would have the most threes because you'll hear you're in the right church. If you got a 3, I'm going to argue that your stress has to do with anxiety about what hasn't happened yet. That it's stress about the future, it's uncertainty about what you're creating for yourself or what's being created for you. And so where meditation is the spiritual technique that helps us be here and now, forgiveness is the technique that helps us come present from our past, we are now looking for the technique that helps us come present from our future. Isn't that weird? I'm worried about not now, in the future some way. What is the technique that can help me know a greater truth about who I am now and in the future? What is that technique? In particular, I'm going with affirmative prayer. Nothing wrong with wishing prayer. Nothing wrong with beseeching prayer. Just pray. Go for it. But affirmative prayer is that ability to say, this thing that I want to have happen in my future, what are the qualities that I am called to embody in my life and consciousness right here and right now so that I can achieve what I'm looking for? No, I'm not going to pray to get an A on the test because I don't know if that's going to happen. But I do pray and know that I embodied all of the wisdom and clarity that I need to get off my butt and study hard so that I can get an A on that test. Right? That's what affirmative prayer is what do I need to embody? That love that I'm seeking from the universe, how can I embody and become receptive to it right here and right now? And who might we say gave us the gift of affirmative prayer? Might as well, because we are in, he is our founder. Ernest Holmes, there are so many wonderful teachers of affirmative prayer, Jesus included, so many folks as well, but he systemized it. He put it in this method for us to affirm right here and right now the qualities that we seek in the future as ours right here and right now. Whatever spiritual practice is right for you, the best way I have learned is how can you embrace all three of these spiritual practices in your daily life? For me, my morning practice is all about meditation and prayer. I sit with that coffee, I read a little spiritual practice book, and then I say my prayers. I say a prayer for myself and what I'm seeking in my day. I say prayers for what people have asked me for. And then one of the things I love to do, I just like to open up and freestyle. Here's this person I haven't thought of in 20 years. Who is a stranger out there that could just simply use my affirmative voice? Just being in that prayerful consciousness. Emerson said, prayer is the contemplation of the facts of life from the highest point of view. Prayer is just when we have that panoramic view where we remember the truth of our lives and our loved ones. You can get into manifesting all the stuff you want, that's fine. What I'm talking about is something a little deeper. It's about knowing the highest truth and that the best is the fruit of what that is. Nighttime is my forgiveness time, because where prayer is kind of a verbal exercise and meditation's a practice, forgiveness is a ritual. That's where I write that letter. That's where I listen to an hour of Van Morrison and just cry my eyes out. Right? That's where I say I'm going to walk around the block, and by the time I get around it, I will have forgiven so-and-so. There's a certain magic that happens with forgiveness. So I encourage you to embrace these daily spiritual practices. So not that you can awaken your soul, but you can reveal your soul that is already awakened. Right? Shunryu Suzuki said, after you meditate for a long time, it's not that you discover your true nature, it's that your true nature resumes itself. Right? And that's the thing when we're feeling disconnected with our heart and disconnected from who we really are, is we just want to reveal that greater truth so we can live as ourselves again. So we have our traditional spiritual practices, but I also invite you to invoke sacred time by highlighting some things that you already do that you may not know are spiritual practices, that we might call secular spiritual practices. And I would define a spiritual practice as anything you do with reverence for what is sacred. Anything that you do. That could be exercising in the morning. That could be cooking your grandma's recipe. That could be listening to that Van Morrison music. That could be writing a letter. When's the last time you wrote a letter? It's different. Texting, ugh, gross. But these are things most of us do every day, but maybe we don't do them with that right reverence. And if you can dial those things in, you can begin to make sacred time a priority in your life again, and it will show up as the demonstration of a more whole, meaningful you. Fulfillment will not come from anything outside of you. It will only grow by nurturing what is within you to bring it forward. So 3 things to remember today, and I'm sorry I've been bad at keeping time. I don't like to go over because I know we have things to do. Tick-tock, tick-tock. So number 1, embrace gratitude as the doorway to the sacred. Gratitude isn't just a spiritual technique. Gratitude is how to see. To see in gratitude is to see clearly. To not see in gratitude is to miss the point. And what I want to say about that is you don't have to be grateful for every little thing in your life to give thanks for the whole of your life. Do you know what I mean by that? I have a long list of things that I am not grateful for. But here's the beauty. I can stop. I can pause right where I am and say, Josh, when you really look at the whole enchilada of your life, what is the feeling that you have? And the answer is grateful. So, so grateful. Robert Anton Wilson said, you are exactly as big as that which you love and exactly as small as that which you allow to annoy you. Be as big as that which you love. 2, turn escapism into mindfulness. I talked about morning spiritual practice time, but all of us, I know it sounds like school, we have what we might call recess or free time. For most of us, free time is that time, for some of us it's 30 minutes, for some of us it's a few hours, that we might refer to as our time to do what we want to do. And so many of us are tempted to use language like, I just need to unplug. I just want to turn off, man. I just want to numb out. Do you know how terrible that sounds? I don't want to unplug. I want to plug in. I don't want to turn off. I want to turn on. I want to connect with my life. And so many of the practices we do, from binge watching shows to drinking too much to stalking people on Facebook or whatever it may be, to reading, read the news once, not 10 times. Right? We get into this thing and we think it's serving our soul because we're turning off, but it isn't. It's leaving us dormant. It is numbing us out. It is unplugging us. It is turning us off. That's not what we want to do. We want to turn escapism into mindfulness. And so we have to say, there's that TikTok part of us that says, walk around in the park. How's that going to add $1 to my life? It's not, but it's going to give you your soul. Journaling about your day may sound like hard work, but it's going to add to your life. There's a part of you that's going to try to trick yourself that says that when you're doing this mindful activity, it's going to tire you out. Nope. We want to unplug from TikTok time. We want to plug in to sacred time. We want to turn off the part of ourselves that's addicted to our to-do list. We want to turn on that part of us that is our priority, that if we don't take care of, can't take care of everybody else. We want to connect with that beingness of who we are. And lastly, we've all heard this one before, but I'm going to describe it in terms of something the great Justice David Breyer said. He was a recent Supreme Court justice, and he said, and I know the court's not operating so much this way right now, but he said, 2 unsaid rules of the court. First rule, everyone speaks once before anyone speaks twice. Isn't that a good rule? Second rule, tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is a new day. I can't even begin to express how important to embrace sacred time is, to see our day as brand new and not just a limited version of our judgments about yesterday. When we can embrace the here and now and embrace this day as the day the Lord has made for each and every one of us, then we can step into co-creating, not in our universe, but in God's universe. And when we reach that God's universe, it has everything we've been searching for, thinking that we need to control and manipulate things into. No. We just let go. We learn to trust our lives again, and it begins to provide our souls just what they need. So just wrapping up with a prayer today, I'm so grateful to be here. And I just invite us, I challenge us to each day this week to recognize, not in a selfish way, that the divine has made this day just for you. That every aspect of each day has within it the right synchronicities, the right flow that allows you to become the best who you are to be. Not through incredible effort, but through simple self-trust. In our teaching, we have a saying that the universe is for us and not against us. May you be for and not against yourself. May we embrace our mind and say, my mind is for me and not against me. May we embrace our body and say, my body is for me and not against me. May we embrace our communities, and no matter what the appearances are, know deep down my community is for me and not against me. As we embrace this truth, we bring forth sometimes what has been buried. We unearth the greater truth of who we are, and we experience greater justice, liberty, understanding, and self-realization in our lives. Knowing that sacred time is all that there is, it whispers to us the truth of eternity. Something not to be experienced in the hereafter, but to get glimpses of in the right here and right now, in the very memory and marrow of our souls, in the very best of our being. We give thanks for it and we allow it to be. And so it is. Amen.
there's no holding back. The power right now, rising up as a force of love so high it can't come down. Every soul is a soul on fire, burning bright with the light of life. Here we are, open wide, there's no place we can hide. We sing out, we sing. Oh, sing out, we sing. Spirit, move, our hands and feet, Spirit, move. Everything, Spirit, move in the space between. Spirit, move. Like a river deep and wide, rolling out like a mighty flood. Love's filling every heart and pouring out of us. Feel it breaking down the walls, building everybody up. It's taking over now, there's no way it will stop. So we sing out, we sing. Sing out, we sing. Spirit, move, our hands and feet, Spirit, move. Everything, Spirit, move in the space between. Spirit, move. Sing out, we sing. Sing out, we sing. Sing out, we sing. Sing out, we sing. Spirit, move, our hands and feet, Spirit, move. Everything, Spirit, move in the space between. Spirit, move, yeah, Spirit, move. Our hands and feet, Spirit, move. Everything, Spirit, move in the space between. Spirit, move. Spirit, move. Spirit, move.
Oh, what a lovely song to wrap up Reverend Joshua's talk. All right, so as we move into our offering, let's take a moment to feel grateful for the blessings in our lives and the spiritual nourishment that we received here today. We give from a place of gratitude, knowing that God is the source of all good. You'll see ways to give on the screen, online, by text, or by mail. So let's take a moment now to place your gift over your heart and join me in saying our offering affirmation together. Money is God's love in expression. Since it is never withheld from me, I choose to give freely of all that comes to me from the one infinite source.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, or the love of God was at hand. Now I can say you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day. Just gotta let it go, let it all go, and this is what you have to say. Oh,
All right, so we bless these gifts as an appreciation of love, knowing that it gives us the opportunity to share that great expression of God within this community and within our greater communities. So I give great thanks for these gifts that have been shared today, knowing that we are divinely blessed, and so it is. All right, so if you are here for the first time, welcome to our spiritual family. We are so glad that you've decided to join us today. Please know that you matter, and we are here to support you. After service, Lonnie Hickman and myself will be available for prayer up here on the side of the stage. And in addition, if you have a prayer request, we have a prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. If you are online and you would like to have a prayer, please visit our website at cslnoco.org and submit a prayer request there. So I am going to invite Lonnie Hickman on up.
Well, I am sad to share with you today that our beloved friend Dave Lorenz died this week on Wednesday. Tom and Reverend Sherry and I were at his side, and I know that many of you were holding consciousness with him and holding prayer during his passing. And I just want to tell you, he passed very peacefully and without pain. This community was Dave's family. Dave loved this community. And so I just want to thank everybody for all of your prayer and your support and high consciousness during these last few weeks. Dave truly felt it and loved and loves all of you. Several of you have asked if there will be a service. Yes, we will have a service of remembrance or a celebration of his life. We're going to wait till Reverend Leah gets back and that we have time to coordinate with some of his out-of-state family. But we will let you know, and we will have a time to come together and to remember and celebrate our beloved friend. So thank you all for your prayer and your support these last couple of months, actually. Thanks.
All right, so we'll just continue to hold Dave in our hearts. And I would like to just thank you for being here today. It's always a joy to come together in community and to share this time of inspiration and connection. So a heartfelt thanks to everyone who made this service today possible. It takes a dedicated team, so your time and energy and effort are truly appreciated. So I now invite you to join us for Sunday supper. Today we'll be heading out to a local restaurant. So meet back at the welcome table if you would like to join us. Everyone is welcome. So please stand if you are willing and able for our benediction and closing song. And just take a moment to place your hands over your hearts and let's say our benediction together. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for all beings. Love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is.
For years I would talk about how I wanted to change the world, but I always left it up for